Hey y'all, welcome to another episode of Whiskey Sour Libations and Conversations. I just realized that my butt base is just like front and center right there. But whatever. You guys, thanks for buying the candles. We still have so many available. We ship out really, really quick. And I also next week will have for my ladies and for my fellas that like to buy nice things for their ladies. I might have a partnership code for you guys with the jewelry line that I'm partnering with. So be sure to check that out. I believe it's 30% off. So when I have the code, I will definitely give it to you guys next week. But I want to bring in my guest. So many people might know him as some dude, an NBA insider, and I just know him as I know your government name, but I'm not gonna say your government name. But I can see you in the waiting room. I just know you as Cuff. So I want everybody to welcome to Whiskey Sour for the first time. Pretty sure it won't be the last time. Cuffs.
Oh yes.
Legend.
In the words of the great Eddie Murphy on Coming to America, I am happy to be here.
What's up, baby? How are you?
I'm blessed. I'm blessed and highly favored. No complaints. Got a lot of good things I'm working on, so no complaints.
All right. Well, I want to say this. I feel like a lot of people listen and they wait for this one guy who shall remain nameless on ESPN, will say. So they kind of have an idea because they refer to him as like a sports NBA insider. But I think it's just really you. Because you,
Ooh.
you be having, I mean, let's be real. You have all the tea, everybody and everything. You have these crazy, amazing hot takes that just suddenly come into fruition, oddly. So I think you're like the NBA soothsayer. Is that can we say that? Like
Yeah, they don't want to really give me my flowers. And when I say they, I mean like the mainstream media, like
right.
the ESPNs of the world. I will say though, Fox Sports, FS1, they do show me a lot of love. Like
Okay.
I was on one of their shows like last week. Chris Broussard shows a lot of love. I've been on his show numerous times.
Okay.
Jason McIntyre had me on his show a couple times. Joy Taylor
Okay.
has been on my podcast. So Fox Sports, FS1 shows some dude a lot of love, but some of the
Some
other
do.
networks, it's kind of a peculiar thing where they try to pretend like they don't see me. They pretend like they don't see me, but I always know they in the shrubbery lurking. So it's kind of flattering and annoying at the same
At the same
time.
time. Yeah. I can see
But
that. I can see that. It's because I feel like even I feel like I've had those experiences like working, like in entertainment. It's like people will take your shit or you I'm like, really? So you just not gonna give
no
me
credit. Yeah.
it recently happened to me with the whole Sierra Russell Wilson Square situation. I got a message.
Oh, so
I
you
got
kind
a
of like you saying you kind of spearheaded that when everybody was talking about calling him a square, and I think
Well,
with
I
it,
didn't know. I don't think he's a square. I don't think he's a square. But I had a conversation with someone on that show who wouldn't really give me like my just due. So he wouldn't comment under the post. And then when he was like on the Breakfast Club, it like came up and he was talking about no, say who you was going back and forth with. It was me. Like it's
yeah,
fine.
that's
So
happened. That's happened to me before.
yeah, so it's just like, all right, I guess. But
They'll crop your name. They'll crop. I see.
mhm,
It's happened to me so many times. It's crazy that it's reached a point now where people send it to me,
yeah.
like followers and people who've been riding with me since the like beginning of Twitter and social media. They send it to me and say, "Look, bro, they cut your name off again, or they cropped you out of the story again." But slowly, but
It's
surely,
happening.
yeah, some of them starting to show a little love. But it's like I realize it's a nature of the beast.
I think that it's also that people are so unoriginal. I mean, because your tweets are constantly like stolen. Like you and I
Yeah,
crack jokes about it like all the time. Like everything you tweet is like a guy that comes right behind you and will take
it's
the shit,
it's
which is
actually
really weird to me.
it's actually I had one situation a couple weeks ago that was actually like, it was actually kind of like creepy. Where I've had people like copy and paste my words.
Mm-hmm.
They might remix a couple words to make it seem like it was them that said it. But I had this one follower. I had to block this guy. It's a dude, and somebody brought it to my attention. I didn't know him or whatever. They kept sending me like different posts he took from me. Like he would go on Facebook and repost it. He would go on every platform and repost my words to the point where, so I kind of like found out who he was, and I like said something to him on Twitter, and the dude was like, "No, bro, I'm a fan." And I'm like, "Look, bro, it's real creepy. Like you said, the originality is what's lacking out here. So a lot of people just can't think for themselves. That's the problem with not just social media, not just the sports media, just life. Like people are not original. So that's why you see so many memes circulating every day. Like the Justin LeBoy, like he got famous off of stealing other people's words. Like like Drake said it in his song, the 7 a.m. in Bridle Path. When he said that line, you niggas is not famous to me. Like you're not famous to me. Like I never understood why those type of people have any type of fame or notoriety, because it's like, bro, you're not even thinking in this stuff yourself. So what's your real true skill set?
I think I have a degree in broadcast journalism and public relations, and it's always so weird seeing how media shifts and how they always, in school, like push like that originality on us, and everything from nowadays is just copy and paste. It's so nerve-wracking, but it's also kind of why I decided to do this, also kind of inspiration from one of my best friends. But it's like people need like real, and it's like so much like bullshit happening in the world that I feel that nothing is original anymore. Like you have people like, Kev on stage doing like creating original content, and everybody that rolls like that way, like to hear Tony Baker and all of them. And it's just like, these niggas should be bigger than what they are, because they're really like doing the work. Like, who do you know has come out with an app? Because like Hollywood has told them no so much. They was like, fuck it, we about to build our own studio. It's like,
that's dope.
Put out our shit. So I think it's dope what we're seeing, like people, what they're doing. Do I think that everybody should be doing it? Absolutely not.
It's not for everybody. It's not for everybody.
But it's the same thing. It's like the people that are getting there, like the props and all that stuff, are the people that are spreading like misinformation, like false narratives about, like whoever or whatever. And I just feel like, like it's so many people, so many like blog pages that I even unfollow, because I just didn't want the negative energy like on my timeline. You know what I mean? So I was just like, I can't. Like, so how can I contribute where we're having a good time, where we take shots?
Ooh, drink. I wish I don't have a shot right here. Oh,
we talked about this earlier. You're supposed to. Listen,
you should.
You ain't gotta say a thing. Look, I
got a shot. I got some water right here. I can take a shot of that.
And then I'm just gonna sip this neat, because I'm like, this.
What you got? What you got over there? What you got?
I'm just drinking. Today, this week's episode is not sponsored by Jack Daniels, guys.
Oh, come on, Jack. Come on, Jack. I like that.
I'm drinking to somebody send me a sponsorship.
I like that honey Jack though. That honey Jack is pretty good.
I hate honey. I hate honey anything. I hate honey.
My skincare is honey based.
Ugh.
I'm not gonna say the name. I'm not gonna say the name of the skincare I use, because, like I said, I don't have that sponsorship yet from those people. But I had to learn that trick of the trade too. It's like, man, I be wanting to show a lot of brands a lot of love, because I do have a lot of brands coming at me, and I do have some partnerships that I'm working on right now. But it's like, you can't give everybody free pub.
Oh yeah, because I mean, you and I, we talk about it all offline, so I know what you use. I've said what I use. Everybody knows I use Clinique as far as my skin.
How do you feel about men who don't have a skincare routine? Like I feel like it's a funny stigma. Like I'm gonna give you an example of what I mean. Like when I post that type of stuff on my social media, like women, you get engagement from women. Like women that ask questions. it's 90, I would say over 90% of the feedback or the questions come from a woman. Like, oh, I have that toner, or I have that moisturizer, or oh, you should try this. But like guys, it's like totally silent, right? So like the thing I'm gonna ask you on your show, I don't want to sabotage your show, but it's like,
Yeah, listen, we're having a healthy
like,
conversation.
what's up with these
Listen.
dudes? What's up with the guys? I feel like it's a correlation where you see all these guys out here that's frustrated. They just mad at the world. I feel like it's because they pores are clogged. Like they not like
So also, y'all, I just want to let y'all know, low key cuffs is hilarious. Like,
they
hold on,
pores are
I got some of your
clogged.
tweets. I got some of your tweets. Hold
Oh
up.
my god, which tweet you got? Oh, hold on, go back. Can you go back?
Yeah,
I'm trying to read this as if somebody else tweeted it. Let me see. What did I say here?
I got you. She finally showed her baby daddy some Father's Day love on her timeline. I knew I recognized those dingy eyeballs. I saw those same eyeballs peeking out the bushes beside her house.
Yeah, them
Why are you
eyeballs.
like this?
I'm like this because I'm just a different animal. Like I'm a different person. My mind is just always like racing thoughts and like a lot of past experiences, previous no current experiences. I done seen a lot. I tell people a lot. I say this a lot about myself. I seen too much. Like my dad had me in like liquor houses when I was a young kid. Like, yes,
What's a liquor house?
you don't know what a liquor house is? You from St. Louis.
I'm from St. Listen, I know strip clubs. I know shootouts at clubs. I know robberies. My car has been surrounded by a SWAT team. So I've been to jail. Like I've never heard anybody say a liquor house. What is a liquor
A
house?
liquor house is like a little shed, right?
Okay.
It's more of a southern down south thing.
Okay.
If you go anywhere below the Mason Dixon line, like North
Oh my
Carolina,
God, you know what
South,
that is? That's hilarious.
yeah, if you go to North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, down south, like
Mm-hmm.
it was more prevalent back in like the 70s and 80s, 90s. I was going to liquor houses with my parents. I was like probably 8, 9 years old, 10. So it's like the liquor house is like a shed and behind somebody's actual house where
Okay.
it's like usually like my grandma actually had a liquor house. So it's like basically that's the place, the central destination location that everybody in the neighborhood, like all the local drunks or whatever, people who like to have fun and drink and party, they just come to the liquor house and like the prices are kind of cheaper than the actual convenience store. So
Okay.
you might get a beer in the gas station for like $2, $3.
Mm-hmm.
Liquor house is kind of less, but I seen a lot of shit. I
I've
seen a lot of
never
shit.
heard of a liquor house. Listen, I just had moonshine for the first time and was on my ass. So
It's a genre. Liquor house music is a genre of music. You can go search. It's liquor house music. It's music. They call it liquor house music. See, I'm educating you here.
whoa. So what you're not gonna do is come up out here like I'm ignorant.
Liquor house music is a thing.
Okay, I will is okay. So would I assume an artist that could be in liquor house music would be
Clarence Carter. Clarence Carter. I can't think of
I
some of
was
the.
thinking of like the what's who said ain't nobody to coming to see you, Otis. What's his name?
Yeah, it's a guy. His name is Otis. I have it on the tip of my tongue. It's Otis. I want to say Otis Easley, maybe. I can't. I don't want to mess his name up, but he has a bunch of like in some of these liquor house songs. It's funny that we on this tangent. Like they have the wildest titles, like
Okay,
X-rated lyrics.
it's okay. You can curse on here
So
or be ratchet because I'll be ratchet some episodes.
I'm gonna send you some of these. I'm gonna search for some of these liquor house songs and send them to you all after this is over. And you're gonna be like,
Okay. Okay.
I
Oh
never
my
knew
God.
this. I never knew this was a thing.
I never I'm kind of very excited to learn a little black history because I mean we're coming off the heels of Juneteenth.
See, they don't talk about that part of the black culture. The liquor houses, guys sitting in the liquor house sweating, drinking corn liquor. You know about corn liquor, right?
I
Yeah.
told you I just had moonshine for the first time a couple weeks ago. Like, and I
Moonshine that they sell in the ABC store now with all the flavors. Like you got
no, I had it in a jug. Like
okay, you yeah.
I had
So
like the real.
see, my
Shout out to
uncles,
tangerine.
my uncles used to drink real corn liquor. They made it themselves. Like
Is it sweet?
I never had it, but
Okay.
I was in New York one time with my uncles, and they took it up north because up north back they didn't know about that type of stuff, and they
Okay.
was drinking that stuff, and it's like I know the smell of it. You know,
Oh,
my grandma used to sell corn liquor, so used to go in the
okay.
refrigerator, and she would put it. I never forget. She used to put it in like the gallon jug, just like water, like the milk jugs.
Yeah.
But I used to open the refrigerator like an 8, 9 year old kid and thinking I'm getting some water out of the jug. And then like you could that smell, it's like, whoa, what's that? And then she'd like, put that back, put that back. So it's like, I told you I seen too much. So to go back to my tweets and how outlandish my mind can be sometimes, it's like I've seen a lot. What's that one?
It's not even noon yet, and I've already seen several baby mamas catching random strays. You drafted Greg Oden instead of Kevin Durant. You can only be mad at yourself. Make better raw decisions.
See, that hashtag is very important to a lot of males and females. A lot of men and women need to take heed to that hashtag because Father's Day, like we spoke about on Father's Day on Instagram
Yeah.
Live, it's a chaotic holiday because people just don't make very good raw decisions when they're horny. Like when they're horny, the decision making, just like a basketball player, right? Like let's use Westbrook as an example. His biggest
That's not a
weakness,
good example.
no, his biggest weakness as a basketball player is probably like his decision making.
Yeah, he's
Like,
very chaotic, and
yeah,
it's
he's
really
chaotic. And it's
it,
the
it,
same. It's the same in the streets. Like some guys, you know, some males and females, they have all the intangibles. They have the athletic ability. They have
mhm.
the looks. They have the whole package, but their decision making. See, that's the thing about the dating pool. That's why it's so crazy because
So I was peeing shit in it.
oh, it's bad.
It's
But it's
bad.
like when you look at a person's face, sometimes you can't see the interior. You just see that face or
See,
that body.
unlike me, baby, because I got this glow. It permeates
Ooh.
inside and out. Okay, let them know.
Sensational. Sensational.
Sensational.
But okay, so we were talking about Father's Day and all the chaos and drama that comes with it. And so I you asked me a question on live. Did I know anybody that kind of was salty or felt some type of way? And I can only think of I think we never got to even answer that because it was so much happening. And but it's one situation. It's one situation that I can think of off the besides other people back home. And I told you I'm the friend that is going to be very, very real with you. I have asked friends in the past, I was like, hey, don't do that. Or hey, maybe you should think about getting an abortion. Hey, you sure? Like and I'm not trying to be like Debbie Downer, but I'm like, hey, I see your future and you don't see it. I don't know what you seeing.
It's hard. It's hard being
It's
the straight.
hard.
It's hard being the straightforward, honest friend. It's
Yeah.
hard. It's hard.
It's
I've been in them shoes a lot of times, and now at an older age, now I'm like, you know what, man, you got to figure it out on your own now.
yeah. I'm it's some people that I will still say something to. I'm like, hey, you want the voice of reason or you want to sugarcoat it today? But I have friends that really take my ideas, my opinions very like to heart, and they really cherish that. So I appreciate that because as an Aquarius, I tend to be a logical thinker. Tend to remove the emotion. Some people think I'm cold. I'm not. I just be like, hey, but I've been very fortunate and blessed to be able to think very quickly on my feet. And I think that has saved me a lot of trouble and headache and heartache. I was telling you, my mom taught me to look at the Z before I step into the A. So for every, action, there's a reaction. So can you visualize what the, like what the reaction could be? Is it something that you want to deal with? That's how I'm here. Like I literally am like, yo, like if I'm glad that I always was like a leader and kind of was beating to my own drum because I feel like I would have been ratchet. Like God was knew what he was doing, not giving me like a super big ass. Like I'm being real. I'm being real. I'm being so real. Like
Oh,
I'm top
I've
heavy.
never heard that perspective before.
Listen.
So you're
My
saying you're kind of in a strange, peculiar way. You're kind of glad
I'm
that you don't have like a
I
Bernice.
have to work out for it. And if I don't work out, it's like it's not that it's not bad. Like I have a cute shape, but man, God knew. Like he already sprinkled too much. Like he didn't sprinkle too much. He gave me more than enough. Cause like, baby,
Talk your
I ain't never
shit.
have to. I ain't never have to have braces. And look, this is my natural hair color. You
Talk your
know,
shit.
like the
Sensational.
titties, like they came in. It was a little late, but I look good. You know, I feel good, and I'm educated and smart. Like you know, and people say, "Oh, that's nothing." Like you know, I'm like, nah. A lot of bitches rest in that pretty,
That's it. That's all they
and
got.
that's it. That's it. So I can be like, I got some degrees or whatever. You know, I'm kind of great.
Layers. It's layers. More
Yeah.
you have more layers, yes. The layers are important. Because you're gonna fall in love, in and out of love with the beauty aspect of this person or that person. But like you said, if you got those layers,
It's a vibe. I'm a vibe. I'm an experience. And I tell people that. I'm like,
mm,
listen, I don't know when you get off this ride if you're gonna get on anything you know, better than this, because it don't get no better than this, but you can try it out. I mean, I'm just saying. But
I like the confidence. The confidence is very important because
shout out to Lucretia.
you'd
That's
be
my mama name.
you'd be surprised. Like some women, they don't have that confidence. That's why you see them moving the way that they move on these platforms and on social media because they don't have the confidence. They don't have the self esteem.
Yeah. I think well, I believe that one of the interesting things is that I have my mom really pushed self-esteem on me growing up, and I thought it was like really normal. And making new friends out here in LA and talking about like our childhood upbringings. Like my sister lied to me. My sister is high yellow, my daddy high yellow. So I'm being like brown in the house,
Do they act high yellow? Do they act light skinned?
sometimes my daddy act like a dark skinned nigga, and I love
Oh.
that for him. I love that. And then I'm like, Daddy, I don't think you're supposed to be light skinned because he's not. But then also with that, it comes. My dad's a Leo, so there's like a big ego that comes with that as well. So we clash sometimes because I'm so outspoken, and also I can also I don't know like I'm like, hey, you setting yourself up for failure. Don't do that, Dad. And then he just can't take it. And so we clash. But my dad is like really dope to me. You know, my dad is like one of my best friends. My dad has always been my biggest cheerleader. But yeah, my sister, she act light skin. She listens to the show. But she be acting light skin sometimes. And I was like, I need you to act like me. Like, get it together. Like, fuck these niggas.
Are you the oldest or she older than you?
No, I'm the baby. I'm technically the
Oh,
baby because you know that I told you my mom died when I was a baby and my
yeah.
aunt raised us. So my aunt had a kid. So in her house, you know, we treat our cousin like she's our sister. So technically I would be the middle child. But my dad, I'm the baby. Like it's always been like that. My dad, if I got in trouble at school, hey, call my daddy. Don't call my mama because I ain't trying to deal with Lucretia.
How old is
But
your pops? How old is your father?
oh, okay. My dad will turn 68 this year. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
my dad is 61, and sometimes he is 61, and sometimes
Mhm.
you're like, yo, you're not 40, man. You're not 30. You're, you're not 38, man. Cut it out, man. And you should see him like he'll pull up with his outfits on, and I'm like, yo, bro, where you going, man?
Yo,
What you think you're doing tonight, man?
you know, my dad was like, "Oh, I want this Dior Sauvage." I was like, first of all, I was
Oh.
kind of felt some kind of way because let me tell you, the guy I be seeing off and on, like I hipped him to Sauvage. I used to work at Saks, and the moment I smelled it, and I was like, "This is it." Like I don't know if it had bergamot, whatever it was. It had something in there. I was like, "This is it." So this is way before like the
Ambroxan. It was the Ambroxan.
Okay, let's see. I be forgetting that you're a cologne connoisseur too.
Yes, I'm one of the greatest fragrance enthusiasts in North America.
Okay, so how we gonna get you? We need to get you like a deal with like
Yeah, I'm working on that.
or
I'm
like
working on that. You should
like
look. It's funny, right? If you brought up fragrances, like people come to me for fragrance. Like speaking of our dads, our fathers, my dad, when I saw him 2 days ago, actually the last 2 times I've seen him, that's the first thing he said to me. Hey man, I'm out of it. Cause you know, OGs, like the older guys, they use the word cologne. They say cologne. Everything is the cologne.
Yeah.
They don't even realize, like, bro, it's they don't know what perfume and extract. They don't know those terminology. Like, so yeah, all that. So he said, "Yo, man, I need some more of that cologne you got me, man." Because he blows through it because he uses too many sprays. So
okay.
We don't. It's just funny we bringing this up right here. So like with me dealing with my dad, he's at that age to where he's so stubborn, like he's so set in his ways that I can put him on this stuff, but I gotta ease it. My delivery has to be like real smooth because if I just come out and tell him like, "Yo, dad, you spraying too much," man, I've been wearing cologne since before you was born and all. It's like, Dad, listen.
Because the especially the parfum, like because it's oil based.
Yes,
like
it's heavier.
It needs to be like you can really spray that and walk into it because it will last all day. But then a lot of people don't realize that your nose gets adjusted after a certain amount of time. So because you can't smell it, everybody else still can.
Yes, the olfactory senses, like you don't know it. Like Creative Vintage is like my favorite fragrance ever, and that's one of the fragrances where I go nose blind to. So some days if I wear it, I might not really smell it because I'm my nose is so used to it. But somebody will walk past me like anywhere. I mean, every time I wear it and I do go in public, like grocery store or any random place, like I get a compliment or somebody will mention it and I'll be like, damn, I don't even smell it. You know what I'm saying? But it's like,
yeah, it was this guy I used to talk to years ago, and I was wearing the original Prada candy.
I like that. I like Prada candy.
And he was like, I thought you were somewhere and I followed the scent and it was like this white woman. Ooh. And I was like,
oh, so he went up to somebody else and asked them what they was wearing?
Well, no. He followed the scent. He thought it was, he had only smelled that scent on me. And he followed the trail. And I was like, I'm kind of flattered, but
yeah, I love fragrance. Like it's like it's art to me. Like I feel like it's art. Like the master perfumers that put together these fragrances, like it's an art. Like I'm into the notes, and I call myself I'm like a bloodhound almost. Like I can walk past a random person, or somebody can walk past me, and if I get a whiff of like their fragrance, I can identify. Like I'm real good at saying, oh that's Dolce & Gabbana light blue. Like especially those like designer fragrances, like mass appealing.
You know.
Average, like the typical fragrances that people buy in the mall. That's kind of why, honestly, I've moved over to more like niche fragrances.
Okay.
Like the stuff that's like real exclusive, like the Killians and the Creeds.
What's your favorite Killian scent?
My favorite Killian is Black Phantom. That's like one of my top 5 fragrances in my collection. Like it's winter and fall, but you can wear it on summer nights as long as you
that you said something. I have perfume that I solely wear in fall, winter, and then I have stuff that like Marc Jacobs Daisy I can wear year round. I'll layer it oddly with this body spray. It's the pink Fresh and Clean from Victoria's Secret. But I'll layer it with that, and it is fire.
I got so many. I have them separated by like right now I have my like summertime joints that I put in rotation, and it's so many out there. It's why I say it's an art because my nose I put my nose on a lot of stuff, but now it's like when I smell different stuff, like it really has to like grab me for me to say, you know what, I want to actually own that. You know, I can get decants and like small little versions of it, but like those big bottles, man, Like I put my dad on. Like I said, my dad been wearing. He was one of those guys that grew up wearing like Brute, like Brute and Aqua Velva and Old Spice and Curve and that type of
You,
stuff. So it's like
I can
now
smell the juke on my Uncle Craig like right
Juke,
now, and
yeah,
I'm like,
that's the one. That's
ah,
the one. So
I can't.
like when he comes around, like I be messing with him. Like he'll come around. Like when he comes to my house, I run upstairs and grab like a fragrance, like a random one or something I got in
Uh-huh.
that I've been wearing, and
Uh-huh.
I come down there, I spray it on his hand or something, and he'll say, "Yeah, boy, I like that. I like that." It's like funny seeing his eyes light up because it's like your senses had never smelled something like this before.
Yeah, so that's why it was funny when he asked for Savage, my dad, because I was like, damn, this not innocent. So I'm like, all right, I guess I was like, I do love you a lot. I guess I could give him this. And I was like, man, why my dad want this gonna be weird. But my
Savage is a monster though.
Savage is so great, but it could also be overwhelming at times because some
Overwhelming,
people
yeah, yeah.
don't know. And then like we said, if you have the toilet like where it's more alcohol based as opposed to the parfum, like, and you just spraying it,
You
it's
choke
I'm like,
you're choking yourself and everybody around you. Like I
and I
wouldn't
just
really
like,
wear Savage in like the heat. Like if I live in a hot state, like North Carolina is
mhm,
relatively hot. That's nighttime. Like nighttime
yeah,
when it's cooler. But like when it's like
yeah,
not 90 degrees and up, I don't think I would wear that.
yeah. See, and Bond is like that. Some of the scents from Bond, and
I wore Lafayette Street last night.
man, my favorite Bond is Central Park South in New East de Noho.
I haven't put my nose on those two.
Yeah, that's
I have
whew.
of the Bond fragrances, I have Lafayette Street. I have
That's so funny, Lafayette.
Lafayette
Lafayette.
Street.
I'm
Uh
like, I'm like, man, I thought I was country.
Lafayette Street. I have Scent of Peace, which is really good.
Oh, that one is nice. That's really
Uh,
nice.
I
That
have
one's a
and
good one to layer.
I have Andy Warhol, which is like one of the best fragrances that I own, but
Mhm.
it's discontinued by Bond, so it's like real expensive if you try to go like online
Somewhere
and
else
get
to
it.
get it.
But
Yeah.
Andy Warhol has like this plum. I like
Mhm.
plum fragrances.
I have a candle for you.
Ooh, spicy. I like plum fragrances a lot. Like Tom Ford plum Japanese is good too.
Yeah, I think my ultimate favorite scent is Cartier. My Cartier is my go-to because it just smells and
Is it
the
floral?
it's a little floral, it's clean, but she's still sexy. And then Alexander McQueen. I get stopped every time. It's like the original. Every time I wear Alexander McQueen. And it
I'm
has
different.
like
I'm
orchid and what else is in it?
It's majestic. It's majestic.
It's just fire. And I just feel like when I spray it, I'm like, I don't know, like, like you already know.
you enjoy it yourself, right? That's the beauty of fragrance. Like you enjoy it. You don't even have to be around nobody. You can be home by yourself and be like, damn, I really like this. This is crazy. Like
Right. And I'm like, I'm just going to just, hanging out with my girls, but I'm just like, hey, I know I'm getting played tonight because it does something else. You
it
already
does
see
something, yeah.
this is oh my God.
It's
Like,
it's an art. Like I tell people, it's a art, and I'm happy to be into that world. Like
uh-huh.
me and my best friend from like my childhood best friend, he's heavy into fragrance. So
Okay.
like we would go to the mall. Well, we still do this every now and then, but he got really small kids, so he can't really move like me sometimes. But like we'll go to Saks and places like that, and just like
Uh-huh.
if it's something we haven't tried yet or smelled or something new, come on the scene. It's like we gotta smell it, bro.
I that's the only thing that I miss working in like the sales scene. Like getting it, seeing it, like going to like they would call them like like PK, so we like product knowledge. So you would get to get it like sometimes you get a free like my Alaya I got free and I still have it because like when it's the oil base like it lasts so long.
So
And
long.
it's so long and I have so many like perfumes and I think I was like, man, I really like literally thought about it. I was like, man, I should go back and work at like Saks for like one day out of the week, just one to get the discount because the discount was like 40%. But I
Like
have
if
so much
like
shit.
if I went to Saks and you worked there, and I'm not just saying this, if I went to Saks, because I can kind of tell the people if they just work there and they really know they shit. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So it's like, to give you an example, I was in the mall in Charlotte. I was in Neiman Marcus. They had everything, right?
Uh-huh.
The biggest mall in Charlotte, North Carolina. So I was in there and I was wearing MFK. Which one was it? I was wearing MFK Aqua Celeste, right? It's one of my
Uh-huh.
favorites. And I was wearing it, and the lady at the counter, like she had no idea. Like she was like, that smells nice what you got on. And I'm standing right there in front of the MFK stuff. So it's like, you don't know what this is. So
Yeah,
that
but it
told me
smells
right
different.
then, like,
Your pheromones are different.
yeah, you just kind of might just work here. But like if I saw you at the mall, I probably would be like, yeah, she know her shit.
You
She know
know,
her
it
shit.
would. It's interesting you say that because men would always shop with me.
Cause
Like,
you got it all put you got your shit together. So that's already like letting us know, like, yo, her skincare is on point, her hair is on point, everything on point. So when you walk in, it's like, yo, I'm here to get I'm looking for a perfume for my lady, or I'm here for my mom on Mother's Day. So they gonna gravitate to you rather than the old white lady most time. You know what I'm saying?
hey, yo, I was in the shoe department. I worked in shoes at Saks in Beverly Hills. And when I tell you, it was so easy. Like it was nothing to like sell to men, whereas women would be more apprehensive to
Mm.
approach me, and I would even like be like, oh, like let me get you that, and I would like, I think you like a size 8, 8.5. But they'll go to the dudes. I think it's part of it is just like an experience to kind of, it's like a dominating thing. But then they would turn around and ask me like, "Oh, what you think? How does?" I'm like, "No, no, 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 no." I was like, "I'm not answering you shit. Like, answering anything because I asked you if you needed help, and you went to homeboy over there, and I walk away, and I would just be a jerk, just all the time, just because I'm like, just because I could, and not like nobody would say anything about it, and but when it came to men in that shoe department, baby, I had to
so
game a lot.
so what's your top three? What's your top three rotation right now for the summer? What's your fragrance right now? What's in your what you reaching for every day? The top three. I got it right here.
Um, it'll be Cartier. I'm thinking about my vanity in my room. I'm a grab. There's a Versace that's discontinued, so I use very sparingly. It's
You
really
like do
nice.
you like Versace? Is it Crystal Noir, the little black? It's like a
I
you
don't
like
have
that one?
that one. I'll have to send you a picture of this one that I have, but I haven't found it anywhere. And then like I said, my go-to, my day in, day out is Marc Jacobs Daisy, but Margiela has Beach Walk.
Ooh, I like lemon under the trees. Oh.
Beach Walk, baby,
I
on
haven't smelled
me.
Beach Walk. What's in Beach? What notes are in Beach Walk?
Sex.
It's lit.
It's lit. I'm
I
telling you,
was
the
just
men
at
and women, men and women are stopping me when I wear Beach Walk. It doesn't.
Beach
It
Walk.
does.
I'm gonna write it down right here. I was just at Sephora like a couple days ago.
Yeah.
But I think I seen it. I saw it because Jazz Club and all that was in there, but I
Yeah.
didn't. Beach Walk.
Beach Walk. Beach Walk.
Mason Margiela.
Yes, it is. It's a vibe, and I've broken a bottle before, and I was pissed.
I did that one time and I was sad.
I was just like, this.
I
Okay.
broke a bottle of Aventus in my sink.
Okay.
No, not
So
Aventus. Not
okay, I
Aventus.
feel really, really, really bad for you because that's very expensive.
Not it wasn't Aventus. It was Creed, but it was Green Irish Tweed, one of my favorites. It black bottle, and I didn't realize it because the bottle is black and the way
Mhm.
it looks, so it's like it's not translucent, like you can't really see through the bottle. So
Yeah.
I dropped it, and I picked it up. It's like I looked down, and I was like, my stomach just dropped, like, bruh, God. I love
Oh
it
my
though.
gosh.
I love it.
That's it's I love I don't know, like I'm not a designer whore because I love fashion. I have a lot of vintage pieces in my closet from my mom but I really love fashion. I don't really like I don't know, like I'm loving what black people are doing in fashion. Like,
Yes.
the Brandon Blackwoods, the Hanifas, other brands, but I don't know. I just love looking good. Like it's really like Deion Sanders said. Like when you look good, you feel good.
And you
I'm
and you
that,
play and you play good.
and you play good. Must be the
Must be the
money.
money. That's one of my favorites. Hey, that theory applies to sports,
Yes.
business. Like my basketball boys, like when they get new uniforms, they ready. They play harder because it's like, yo, bro, look, we feeling good out here today. Like that really that's a real gem right there.
It is, and I love the compliments, and it's just like I'm like, okay, I made like an effort today. And don't get me wrong, like I have my bummy days, but like my homegirl birthday the other day, I kind of felt bad because like we went to Yamashiro's and everybody was like stopping me about this dress. And it was just literally, I had a satin, like a silk dress with a slit, and I had like this harness on with it. Like, and it was just
Was it
fly.
yellow? Was it yellow?
No, it was like coral, and then the harness was red.
I just want to say
So,
this. I just want to say this to everybody that listens to your show and watches your show. All the females out there, all the beautiful ladies, especially our black queens. Right? I made this a thing, but y'all might not know. But this y'all first time hearing me or seeing me. I use this hashtag and I use it often, and I'm gonna share it here on Whiskey Sour. Black queens, beautiful black women, wear more yellow.
I have yellow. I need more
Orange
in my
too.
work.
Orange. I like orange. The melanin and the yellow. It's just something about it.
Every time I see a runway show and I see them put a Anglo Saxon in yellow, and they could have put it on the black girl, I'm like, they missed the mark.
Lord, post that.
All
Post that though. Post that dress. I don't think I saw that. Post that.
Oh, I haven't. Well, I did a reel, and I forgot to post today, because I've been trying to. The algorithm be having me so messed up though.
The algorithm is the biggest hater out here,
But
man.
it's the because like the reel that I posted the other day, like it has so many views, like and likes, and then I posted another
On
reel.
Instagram, right?
Yeah, on Instagram, and then I
I,
posted one. I
I
posted a reel
heard.
yesterday.
I
It's
actually
like,
heard that somebody I know that said this yesterday. That when you start monetizing on your Instagram, like they shadow ban you. It's
well,
crazy.
okay. So here's the thing: they told me I could. And then when I went to post, they was like, nah. I guess I'm just in the doghouse too many times. Like, I don't know what I be doing, but yeah, I'm just like, I'm over it. But I know that I need it.
Oh,
But
the community guidelines is what you said. The community
always
guidelines.
so I can't monetize. And apparently there's like, this can't be appealed. I was like, yeah, watch me really pop and be famous. Y'all gonna change that shit up. But it's
Mm-hmm.
fine. Like I don't need money from Instagram. Like for me, it's more about getting like partnerships, which is like things that I've been reaching out for because there's this one lubricant for your wellness. I have a THC based lubricant. It's
Ooh,
fire.
you
Fire.
you have that now.
I have that now.
that sounds very intriguing.
Very, very euphoric.
Oh
Very
my god,
euphoric.
I got to write this down on my notes. You said a
Or okay,
THC.
so yeah, so when you come out here, you'll have to
Oh,
actually go into it.
they
You'll
sell
have
it.
to go with yeah, they sell it in store. Online is only the CBD based stuff.
Ooh,
But yeah, at sidebar, we have to shout out to Good Gas California, as
that
well.
sound real. That's real interesting right there.
I have a tea that I'm waiting to try from Good Gas. I'm wait till my brother gets here Saturday for the month, and I'm like, I need to share it because I'm afraid to like drink the full amount by myself. I need to share it,
You
like
need to
we on
share,
like
yeah.
because I'm like, what journey are we going to go on? Like, so. But want to talk to you because you have tweets like the
Oh.
relationship tweet and the Father's Day tweet and you ever tasted her cooking and
That's a
still
wild one.
I still don't understand how you put an oatmeal raisin cookie over a chocolate chip cookie, but that's none of my
Oh,
business.
go back to that one. I said what now? I think I remember this
You
one.
said life is all about stepping outside of your comfort zone and taking risk. I just put an oatmeal raisin cookie in the starting lineup instead of a chocolate chip.
Oh yeah, because I'm a chocolate chip cookie lover. So
I'm
I would
not eating no oatmeal raisin over no damn chocolate chip cookie any
I
damn day. And I
I
make amazing. Mm-mm.
I agree. I was at my dad's house watching the NBA finals, and he had both.
See, that sound like an old person cookie.
Exactly. He had both on his counter. He had chocolate chip, and he had he had chocolate chunk, and he had oatmeal raisin. And I said, you know what? Something just came over me. I was like, I'm the person. If you read my tweets from all these years, if you search it, like I slandered the hell out of oatmeal raisin, right? So I was like, you know what, man? Life is all about growth. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try one of these things. So I got two of them. Matter of fact, I warmed them up in the microwave, and I was like, you know what? It's not bad. It's not. It's still in the G League compared to the chocolate chip cookies. You know what I'm saying? But like you said, that's an old people thing, though.
It really is. I hate raisins. I eat oatmeal in the morning for breakfast, but I hate raisins.
Me too. I eat oatmeal every morning.
Yeah, I can't do the raisins, man. And I tried brandy, can't fuck with it. Like I can't do it.
My
But
sister loves oatmeal raisin. We the total opposite.
ugh, gross, gross. I can ugh,
I like raisin bran though.
ugh.
You don't
You
like
like
raisin bran?
I hate raisins. I hate raisins. When we were packing the house up for my brother and they were moving to Texas, right? Shout out to him and the renewal of Walker. He's on the reboot of Walker Texas Rages on the CW.
Ooh.
But baby, the only alcohol that was left was some brandy. And I am like, oh, okay, sure, why not? And they're like, oh, I'm like, what does it taste like? Because I don't think I've ever had like brandy, like in my years of exploring alcohol. Look, it tastes like raisins. And I was about to swallow it, as they said, and I could immediately taste the raisins, and I spit that shit out.
I never had brandy. So you saying
You didn't listen.
all
If you
brandy?
like raisins, you will enjoy it. I, however, think it's gross.
So you saying all brandy had like a raisin taste?
That is made from raisins.
I did not know this.
And I don't have to have it. Like I am okay.
You sleeping on raisin bran though, especially
No, I'm not. I've had it as a kid. I am not.
the raisin bran crunch is this
No.
Sensational.
I'm telling you.
If I eat cereal, I don't eat cereal anymore.
Yeah, I try to cut back on the sugar intake.
I didn't say that. I have a terrible sweet tooth, but if I eat cereal,
it's so hard.
I eat plain Cheerios. I eat Cheerios and I'll put fruit in it.
That's
Simple.
respectable. That's respectable. Frosted Flakes with bananas. That's respectable.
I haven't had Frosted Flakes since elementary school, but I think the last time when I had cereal, and I think I bought cereal for like a brief period of time when I first moved out here. So this was like early, like 2010, 2011 era. Fruit Loops. I like the bottom of the bag when it gets like the crumbs and shit. It's like a powder.
Mm.
And I was buying Cheerios, and I would put like fresh strawberries and stuff in it. So yeah, I'm really simple when it comes to stuff like that.
I have a protein right now that tastes like Fruity Pebbles. It's amazing.
See, I'm not the biggest Fruity Pebbles fan, but I had an edible.
I make those. Can I say this on here? I make those.
You can say it.
I make those. I make those.
So wait, so you know how to deride like the butter from like the?
Can we talk about it? Like I do this.
Yeah, we can talk about it. I'm not a weed head, but like I'm a weed head.
Yeah, I'm a cannabis enthusiast. So it's like a hobby sometimes. Like I don't do it like often. It's been a while actually since I've done it, but like I have the machine and everything. I can make like tincture. What else? The butter, all that.
Okay, so my homeboy, when he comes back in town, we're gonna make biscuits, like wheat biscuits. So I cannot wait. I am
Like
so
buttermilk
excited.
biscuits.
Yeah,
Is the feedback on my side or your side?
I'm not hearing the feedback.
You're not hearing the feedback? Okay, we good. But yeah,
Okay.
I can make the butter. So what you do is you take the butter. I'm sure you're aware of the butter game. Like you take the can of butter and you can put it in anything that you use butter in. So I'd have made red velvet brownies with it, like regular brownies, cookies, chocolate chip cookies, and all that. Like it's fun. It's really fun to do it because like you feel it immediately for some reason.
I know. And it's yo, like it was a gummy one time, and I will never forget this. And it's hella random. And then I want to ask you about some relationship stuff. But we were at my homegirl's house, and my homeboy like had some edibles, but and they were like 4 squares. And I immediately put it on my tongue, and we all were like high within like a couple of minutes. We were oddly watching the Mario braid my hair video for some reason. I swear this video was on for 15 minutes and we all were just sitting there like,
Stuck.
why is this still going? And they were like, and my other friend, like, she doesn't indulge. She's like, we just turned it on, but it was like we instantly were high. Like, it was like so potent. And I'm like, I swear somebody started this video over because we should still not be here. Like, this is really weird. But sometimes I just be so high, and it's not a bad thing. One time I had a panic attack. That's neither here or there.
That happened to me one time. I was in a McDonald's drive-through. I took like a it had like a Sour Patch Kid. It was like the gummies, right?
Uh-huh.
And I was at a restaurant before that with my family, like my there we go. So I was
Okay, I was like, you froze. I was like, that's
yeah,
not
my
me.
bad, my bad. So I was eating this gummy in the restaurant and I kept like what happened was it didn't hit quick like I thought it should.
Uh-huh.
So I kept eating little pieces, like more than I should. I didn't know this. I was new to the game. This was several years ago. And then like we was in the car. I was like in the back seat. And I think one of my kids wanted something. So it was in McDonald's drive-thru, right? And I remember sitting in there like my chest and everything. Like I thought I was dying. Like it wasn't funny in the moment, but like after it wore off, I was like, I'm never fucking doing that again.
Here we are doing it
Yeah.
again.
Not that many, not that many at one time. Like it was crazy.
Yo, I had it's a pen that I have like over here somewhere. And I get a lot of product, like I said. I have a plug, like an amazing plug. That's why I was
Ooh.
when you were asking questions. I was like, okay. So I get to test different stuff. And he gave me a pen.
I love the carts, live resin.
Yo, I this time in particular, and I used to have a podcast with some homegirls back in the day, and I like was like, fuck, like I didn't mean to hit it this hard.
Whew.
But I watched the playback and I was like, what was I doing? No, okay. This happened last year. I was watching basketball and I got off of work. I was like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go home, I'm gonna shower, I'm gonna hit the pen, I'm gonna have my snacks. I hit the pen too hard and it went down the wrong pipe. So I was like
Ooh.
instantly high. And I was
Ooh.
like, I just wanted to go to Saturn. I ended up on Pluto. And I was freaking out. So I'm going to do it. I'm like, pick up. Like, I'm really having like an attack. So I'm like, who can I call? What time is it? It's late. I don't know what it was about watching the ball move on screen, but it got to me. So I called my homegirl in San Diego. And I'm like, okay, I smoked too much weed. I am too high. And she was like, okay, go outside and sit on the balcony and just breathe. I was like, I ain't got no clothes on. She's like, okay, put some clothes on.
Get some fresh air.
Get some fresh air. She's like, okay, now listen to my voice. Take these deep breaths. So I'm like trying to breathe in and breathe out, but I am freaking the fuck. Like I'm trying to calm down. Like I'm really trying to be calm, right? So I was like, okay, I think I'm okay. I think I can go to sleep. Yo, the next day she called me and was like, "Girl, when you was like, I was telling you to take the deep breaths, why you sound like a whale?" Like trying to breathe. And I was just like, oh my God. But yeah, it was like another time I was like at my homegirl house out in Palm Springs, and the wind hit me in the middle of the night and I just got hot. And she had like this cold tile floor, and I definitely stripped down. I was just laying on the floor because I was like burning up. But I was like, I ain't never doing that again. I lied, but yeah, I be hella high all the time. And I was like,
I love the cards though. That's my favorite right now.
man, listen. But while I have you, I want to talk some relationship shit with you.
Let's do it. That's my specialty.
It is. It really is. You know, like you know, I am talking, you know. So recently, the last couple of episodes, we've been talking about navigating relationships, the do's, the don'ts, the stereotypes that happen, especially when it comes to black men, black women. What can we do better to you know, make it a joyous, like fun experience? And I feel like that there's this really big disconnect. I also feel like a lot of people hate their mamas, but we're not going to talk about that today. But I want to know like your take on like what, because you kind of tell men indirectly what to let go of and how to move, and you do the same thing for women. So kind of like, what are your ideas? How do you think that we going into this next chapter, as far as especially at our big ages, like how do you think that we can navigate that space better?
Well, it's a lot of factors. Like you have to you gotta think about it like this. Like it depends on your age, right? A lot of that depends on
Mhm.
your age because some women they wait till the check engine light is on, right?
Fuck.
You know what I'm saying? Like they wait till the check engine light is on where they get too up in age. Cause you got some women who they say they're in their, let's say 35, 36,
I feel
37,
attacked.
38, right? So you got women want different things. So you have some women who say, I want a family. Like I want that solidarity. I want that structure. I want a husband and I want one kid, two kids, three kids, whatever the case. But it's
Hmm.
like you have to align yourself, your activities, the stuff you into, and
Hmm.
the places you go on the weekends and all that. Like it has to align with that. So you can't say you're 36, 37, or older than that in your 40s. And it's
Hmm.
like, I want a family. It's like I feel like the family structure is not really cool in society. That's another topic. Like the
Yeah.
family structure, where women to see somebody happy, they see a guy they know in a relationship, and they'd be like, "Oh, you married?" Or "Oh, you all booed up." Like they say it in a negative way. Like what? That's the goal, right? Like I saw my parents.
Yeah.
I saw my parents in the house dancing to the OJs and Houdini and fucking
Yeah.
Ron Isley. Like I see my parents. I have vivid memories in my mind as a 10, 11-year-old, 12-year-old kid. My parents just having those times together. Like my
Yeah.
parents used to go out to the club and dance back when that was a
Okay.
thing. So it's like I seen love basically. So
Yeah.
some people, male, female, they haven't actually seen love, so they don't know what they don't have that reference point to go back to. Where
Right.
it's like, yo, like mom and daddy, like I post pictures every now and then. My mom get mad sometimes when I do it because she's not married to my dad no more. But I
Uh-huh.
don't. But that's a deep conversation too. It's like that's my memories of my mom and daddy.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying? So when I post a picture of my parents, most time it's like reminding me of like that's love. Even though I'm a biracial kid, black and white, mom white, but it's like that's still love no matter the race. So it's like
Yeah.
with black women, black men, just couples in general, like universal couples, no matter the race, you gotta align yourself with what you want. Like you can't be in the club smoking hookah because the women I see now on Instagram is like the barometer right now
Hmm.
of like the social world. So if you go on your Instagram story on Friday night, no, actually, it really starts like Thursday. I say Thursday, Friday, Saturday,
If you
Sunday.
in LA, it might start Tuesday.
Yeah, I was about to say depending on the proximity of where you live in the big city or not.
Yeah.
Houston, LA, Miami is every night. But
Yeah.
Like you in the club and it's like, oh, I see women, they doing this, like they blowing their hookah and they just blinking. That's all they doing is blowing hookah and blinking. Blowing hookah and blinking. That's not gonna get you the family portrait that you say you want. That's if you
Yeah.
want, that's if you want that. So that it boils down to, I say it a lot and women get mad. Like Kevin Samuels, I feel like he went about it the wrong way. And the
Yeah.
reason I say he went about it the wrong way, because he was trying to perpetuate a lot of things and say a lot of things and give
Right.
knowledge and advice, but he really was not cut from that cloth. Like he was like more of a, what I call like, he was a tambourine player. You know what I'm saying? It's funny to say. Like
Look
he
at you
was
keeping ill on the dead.
yeah, like he was, yeah, I'm keeping it real. Like he was like a choir director dude, you know, like he was on the outside.
Yeah,
He
I
was
got you.
when we was in PE class in 5th grade, he was over there double dutching, probably. You know what I'm saying? We was playing kickball. He was double dutching. So no disrespect to him, but it's like the message he tried to portray to women. I used to sit back and just say, man, you're getting a message from the wrong messenger. You know what I'm saying? So it's like with relationships, man, you just gotta identify what you want out of somebody. And it's like you have to be open-minded and you just have to be like this have an understanding of what you want. And I feel like women sometimes they put too much, they put too much on preferences. Like, I want to do the 6'3" and he gotta be 220 pounds and he gotta have a six-pack. It's like if you go out here in the world and say you're only gonna settle or only gonna look for that, your soulmate gonna fly right past you every day.
Yo, I had that conversation with a person that's like a former friend, and I was like, I get it. Like we all have our preferences,
Yeah, we
and
do.
but I said it's one thing when it comes to like the spiritual, intellectual, emotional capacity that you don't want to bend on. I said, but sometimes the physical things, I was like, is what gets you caught up, and so
Yeah,
sometimes you might need to recalibrate and really think about that because it could be some person that could be potentially your knight in shining armor and you're like he's not 6'9", so I don't want to date him, but he checks all the other boxes, right? I also feel that women, we have this, I ain't gonna say we because I don't do that. uh well, one, I've also had the luxury of having a lot of men in my life that don't want to sleep with me, and being really great friends with me and really kind of giving me like some intel.
the
But
game. Yeah, you keep,
yeah,
yeah, give you the game. Yeah,
which has helped me a lot when it comes to dating. But I would say that women, we have this weird thing where your homegirl could tell you something and you don't want to listen, but then you go ask your homeboy, and he literally says exactly what your homegirl told you a few weeks ago, and you like, yeah, because Jason said, and I'm like, did Jason say that, or did I tell you that?
I just told you that. Yeah,
And it's like you feel like you have some sort of insight, just like it's just like think, act like a lady, think like a man. What Steve Harvey said, and what a lot of these men are telling women, is nothing that your homegirl has not told you. It just sounds good and it sounds great because it's like it's packaged differently. And so you feel like because a man has given you insight, it's like, oh, well, I guess I got to listen now because he said this and this, I should move like this. But I also feel like sometimes those type of men set women up for failure because and men, because you have to also remember the lane, and a lot of people don't stay in their lane. They were trying to swerve,
yeah.
and I just feel like, what are you doing?
I think it comes down to, it's very simple. I put it very simple. You have to know what you want in life. You know, and I feel like speaking to women, like your women out here, the listeners, your viewers, like a lot of women, they hate the truth, man. That's the
Yeah.
part they can't get past. Like they hate the truth. Because that's why some of my tweets be ruffling feathers for years, because I just say it. Because I have examples. I'm not just talking outside of my neck. Like I have a real
Right.
experience. So it's like, look, I see you, like I said, the hookah. I see you with like you hanging out with your homegirls. You done took 12 girls trips. Like the girls trips is cool. But it's
Yeah.
like sometimes I look at these girls on these girls trips, and I'm like, yo, every single girls trip that I see, all of y'all Instagram stories look the exact same. I can write down exactly what I see from random women that I follow. And it's like, yo, it's the same trip,
Yeah.
reincarnated over again, 6 times. So it's like, how long do you want to be a career bridesmaid? That's what I ask. Like, you done been to 12 weddings, you've been a bridesmaid like 8 times, 10 times. Like, when is your time to be like, you've been a background singer all these times. They hate that, but it's like, that's the truth you keep running from. Because I know you
Yeah.
want it deep down inside. I ain't gonna say all women want a family, because keep it real with you. Some women, they want to be hoes. Like, some women,
Yeah. And I'm
they
okay with that.
yes, that's cool.
Yeah.
If that's your lane, like you said, if that's your lane, but like, you can't be like trying to straddle the fence. Like,
Right.
I see those memes and those posts where I'm healing, and all the healing is the biggest buzzword right now for women. And it's like, I know some that post that stuff. I'm like, one minute you healing, then the next minute I see you at the damn hookah bar. And I see you with like all the local drug
Yo,
dealers.
hold on. Can we just say this right here, everybody?
All the local drug
I
dealers.
want the stronghold of hookah to be released from my people. I want us to be released from those shackles of hookah. I am so over it.
It does nothing for me.
It does nothing. I'm like, okay. I'm like, can
I
we?
think
Are
I
we? Are
think
we
that they like it. It's for people who don't really smoke or actually indulge. So I think they like it. It makes them feel cool, I guess.
no,
Like, you
I'm
feel
like, are we doing this? Are we putting weed in it? Like
no.
that's the question. I'm like, are we
Nah.
putting milk in the base and we putting weed in it? Like,
Yo,
so
give me my live resin cart and I'm good.
yes. And but it's the same thing. I that goes for men as well because I feel like men are like big mad at women right now because of the lane that and the space that the patriarchy has created for them.
Yeah, it's tough.
And and it's really tough. And I get it. Like there's certain types of men that don't even care because they're like, I got it. This ain't shit to me. But a lot of the average Joe is like, everybody's a gold digger or everybody's like this on Instagram and they're doing
It's
this and
yeah.
taking
You
this.
said the word out of my mouth. It's Instagram. Like,
It's
men,
Instagram.
most men, like almost every man I know, black men especially, they look at Instagram. So that's what they think, and that's what they see as the ideal image of women. Like, their idea of a
Yeah.
woman now, a black woman, it's like she got her ass out, and there's nothing wrong with feeding the wolves. Like, I'm a CEO and
I
founder
was
of
gonna
it.
say, you beat me, you beat me. I was gonna say, what you mean, feed the wolves?
Yeah, I'm with that, and I do that. I do that for those guys. Was like, men like looking at ass. Let's keep it real. I don't care how happy you are. I don't care what type of relationship you
I'm a
got.
chicken and I'm straight and I like looking at ass.
Exactly. So we got
I
to
just
get
be like,
we got to
God
get
damn.
we have to get past that stigma, because I did that feed the wolves thing on
Uh-huh.
my Instagram. I made that a thing a long time ago, but it was like I wanted to bring back like the Jet Beauty of the Week.
Uh-huh.
Jet Magazine had the Beauty of the Week.
Okay,
So it's like
I'm young, but I ain't that young. I guess
that
Jet
that's
magazine ain't even a thing no more.
exactly. So I wanted to bring back that element of showing black women's beauty. So it's not like looking at them like, oh, they some sluts. No, it's like these women have beautiful bodies. They have beautiful like features. So let's just put their stats up here and let's just show their stats. But
Yeah.
but I think it comes down to like men not trusting women anymore. Like you said, I feel like the trust is gone because like they just see what they see and they don't trust it, because like women can be real conniving too out here in this day and age. It's not like it was in the 90s or the 2000s. Like, it's a
Or
difference.
is it? And it's just that social media has put a microscope on it.
There's some good ones out here. It's some good women out here,
I
but
mean, I'm one of the
it's
good ones
it's
sometimes.
only about 38 good women. When I say good women, I mean like the wholesome women. Like, wholesome and good is like two different parameters. Like, wholesome.
So when you
Oh,
say 38, wholesome.
there's only a few left out here. It's like one. It's like less than. I'll say it's more than 38. It's probably like 58, but it's like about one or two, maybe not even two per state right now. I'm telling you, the world is smaller than people realize with Instagram.
I know that. I know that. I know that. And
It's not a lot of them. I'm telling you, right now in LA, where you are, like
listen,
LA.
but you have to also think. So it's crazy because oddly, what makes me stand out is the fact that I don't look like everybody else.
Yes, that
Like
helps.
I don't have work done this is all natural. I don't have fillers. I don't have a BBL or anything. I got that little pooch that y'all like to grip that I'm, trying to get rid of, but the sugar has a hold on me that I'm trying to
It's
get rid of.
nothing. It's nothing wrong with the kangaroo pooch, the pouch.
Okay, it ain't a kangaroo pooch, and I wear the proper undergarments. By the way, and a lot of women just y'all just need to put the proper undergarments on. But I will say, I feel like that kind of makes me stick out. And remember, I used to have platinum blonde hair, and now everybody has blonde hair, and I'm like, I'm over this. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
y'all still my aesthetic, and but I feel like it's a gift and a curse at the same time because, like I was telling you, like men assume that my DMs are one way or that certain things happen all the time, and it doesn't. And part of it too is like sometimes those men can be like headaches, like things that I don't want to deal with anyway. So I'm like, okay, great, you've eliminated yourself. But I was at Ocean Prime, which I had to take you to so we can get the butter cake because it's crack, man.
Oh,
Butter cake, fire. I'm telling you,
you
better
said it's
better than
better than
that.
it's better than Maestro's.
Yes, it
That's
is because it's perfect. It's perfect. Mashed was too buttery the last time I
with
last
ice.
couple of times.
It comes with ice cream.
Hmm.
I'm a dessert. I'm a dessert connoisseur. Like,
Yeah, it's crack. But I was there. I took my homegirl to kick it one day because she was having a bad day. I was like, look, let's go to Ocean Prime. And a guy walked in. I peeped him. And I like older guys for the most part. And he comes in, and then how Ocean Prime is set up, there's like the bar side patio, and then there's like the restaurant. He comes from the restaurant side over to me, and it's like, I peeped you. I'm telling you right now, I ain't shit, but we can have a good time. And then he turned to my friend, was like, "Oh damn, like but you kind of cute. Here's my card. Y'all can figure out who's gonna call me tonight."
whoa,
And I was like,
the audacity of this nigga.
like,
Who do
come
you
on, she
who do
already
you
just
think you are?
uh, you wasn't that. Like you saw, and not saying that insurance people, that people that sell insurance don't make money, but I was like, sir, slow your roll real
Yeah,
fast.
yeah.
So, but I don't know, like it's just and this whole dating realm out here has just definitely been like interesting to navigate. And dating in general, I think it's across the board now because I'm like you, it's like, hey, if you're saying you're having a hard time, where are you going? What are you doing? And so you're trying different things. Like I started going to like sports bars, or like you might go to a sporting event or whatever, and getting your head out of your phone and whatever. And it's a headache. It's a headache. And I feel like people also are not, they're constantly looking for something like that. Yes, you're great, but I'm gonna keep one foot in and one foot out just in case something else might come along. And I think that's that's what's happening across the board because my homegirls across the country are having like terrible
That's
dating.
what it is. That's why I say get a family. I tweeted that today, the hashtag again.
Hmm.
See, it's like they playing with the hokey pokey, or what do you
Hmm.
call it? Where you, like you say, you double
Hmm.
dutching, where you put one foot in because it's like I want to be committed to one person and quote unquote settle down, but like
Hmm.
damn, I still want to be in the game. So when I say something, when I make those comments about girls trips, when I
Hmm.
see those, because I know some of these females like personally, and I see them and I be like, you just so full of shit. You just
Yeah.
full of shit. Like you,
Or it's like I'm in the space where it's like I'm honest, and my honesty has gotten me in a lot of trouble recently. But I believe that people they don't know what they want.
yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. They don't know what they
They
want.
don't
So
they don't know. They don't know. Then when they meet people, they're not being honest about like if even if they just want to like mess around a little bit, they're not honest about it. And so you
nah,
kind of lead somebody on, which is very messed up. But it's like if that's what if you want to do that, then like by all means, like I like when people tell me the truth and then I can navigate the space from there. Like, okay, do I want to mess around with you or do I not want to mess around with you? Whatever. But I believe that a lot of people are just, I don't want to say terrible human beings, but like they kind of terrible human beings.
Yeah, that's exactly what they
And
are.
we say this, we say that, and it's just like, do you really? Because like someone said to me, like, if your person asks you, did you want to get married tomorrow or whatever, what would you say? And I would be like, I have to be real with myself. I'm not ready. Even at my big age, like I'm not ready. And it's not that, oh, I think there's somebody else out there for me. That's not my case. It's just so many other things, so many factors, like focusing on building like my business, my brand, and creating content and things like that. But and even having a kid, like it sounds cool,
Yeah,
but like I'm
it's
freaked
not easy.
out. I'm freaked out. Every person I know, Cuffs, like literally all my homegirls that have kids, they are not with their original partners. That shit freaks me out.
If you see somebody that's with their like the person they had kids with, and they pretty much stay together the whole time, their kids grow up and become adults, like those are the unicorns that I speak of.
Yeah.
Why do you think Jerry, not Jerry Springer, but why do you think Maury Povich was able to have a show that was that successful for over like 2 or 3 decades when
Yeah.
it was nothing but DNA tests every day? That's just on his show.
Yeah.
Not only was it just his show, that's just the people they chose and selected to be on the show.
Right.
You know how many people they turn away that they can't do everybody. They can't have everybody on the
Right.
show. So
Right.
like you said, that's out here where women and men are sleeping around, and next thing you know, it's like that's why the word baby daddy and baby mama is such of a regular word now. It's like
Mhm.
it's so commonplace when we say those words. When I was a kid, nobody was running around hardly saying those words because most people like held down their responsibility. Even if the mom and dad really didn't get along and they broke up,
Right.
you took care of your son or daughter. Like most, I could say that about like not just my dad, but like my uncles for the most part. Like my relatives, like the males in my family, like they did some wild shit in the streets. They went to prison for all type of shit, but they took care of their kids. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Like that's a lost thing now in society. Now it's like now most women feel like if they go to the club, fuck around and have a one night stand or have a little 2 or 3 month fling with a guy, get pregnant by him, and the guy finds out that he got a baby on the way, it's like yo, it's a very high percentage chance he out of there. Like
Yeah.
he gonna ghost you completely. Like nah, I don't want to do this. So that's got to be scary for women because the guy can just bail out because the woman has to give birth, so the guy can just bail out. Scary.
I mean, I'm a pro choicer, and I just believe that it's certain things that shouldn't happen.
Yeah.
And first of all,
Say it. Say it.
the patriarchy has created a space where this is acceptable. I'm not, and women, unfortunately, we have fallen to it, and we subscribe to it. We see it with the futures. We see it with the Tristan Thompsons. We see it with
Nick
you know
Cannon.
some stuff that I
Nick
know,
Cannon. Nick Cannon.
and you know some stuff that I know probably, and we won't divulge in it online because I know you know that. Because if I know, you have to know. And where that's okay, where that's respected. And I think that there has to be some sort of shift, and it has to kind of start at the patriarchal level because we have so many women that subscribe to that and play that game. I don't play y'all bullshit. If you said I can have it, I'm taking it, and it's just a real little situation. But whatever, neither here or there. But I think that there has to be some sort of shift. But I think there's a certain level of respect that we talked about this earlier, that where people have to have self-esteem and self-respect for themselves, where this isn't even an issue. Like the idea of having a child for a bag is strange to me.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. And again, I get it. Like my upbringing is different. I have like a Southern Baptist upbringing, and my morals, like I remember there was a guy, whatever, that slid in my DMs one time. He was well known, and I was excited, but then my mom had told my dad, and my dad was like, "You better not go with that nigga." Blah, 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 blah. He just want to do that, and I was like, man. And then I was like, man, my daddy said I don't go. And I was grown. And so I think about things like that. Like I know
Yeah.
that, and I know that even the idea of a nuclear family really doesn't exist anymore. You have to do what works best for you. Maybe marriage is a thing, maybe it's not. Maybe you guys have a situation where you're raising this healthy family, and yeah, there's no paper attached to it. Fine, that's none of my business. But I think that there has to be, like, a lot of people have to start valuing, and that sounded weird, and caring about their self-worth, because everything that we're doing, even the conversation I was having with one of the guests, it went back. I don't want to spend money because of, I want to make sure somebody is with me for me. And I'm just like, fucking spend the money, have a good time. If
Yeah.
and if it doesn't, if you don't have that chemistry with this person, you got a great meal and some great drinks out of it. It's not a big deal, you know what I mean? But I think that a lot of things we have to get back to that. And I don't know, but that's just me though. Like I get it, everybody isn't set up the same, but I just really can't think of like, I'm finna go and sleep with this nigga, and only when I'm ovulating to make sure that I trap him so I can have access to what's his.
That's really what's happening to a lot of people. Athletes. We saw it happen to PJ Washington in the NBA. We've seen it happen to a lot of athletes, a lot of rap guys. Like, okay, let me ask you this. Why do women, when they go
Don't say
on,
women. Is it all women or is it some women?
it's some women, it ain't all, it's not
Okay.
all, but it's a large majority of them. We
Hmm.
see them on their Instagrams. We see them on their Instagram story where they go on vacation. Most time it's on vacation. They might be in Tulum or they might be in Jamaica.
If they in Dubai, they gone.
It's mainly like the Caribbean, like the nice beaches and stuff. When they go on these
Uh-huh.
trips with guys, right?
Hmm.
It's not just the trips, but I'm gonna use that as an example because I see it literally every week almost for females that I know of. Some I know
Yeah.
of, some of them I just follow. But what makes a woman say, you know what? I'm gonna let this guy take me on this lavish vacation. We're gonna go eat the wagyu steaks with the garlic mashed potatoes and the lobster mac and cheese. We got all type of drinks and cocktails and
Yeah.
margaritas. And then when I post on my Instagram story, it's like all you're gonna see is this dude's knuckles. You might see his collarbone, but it's like I'm not gonna show him. Now I can understand if you just now getting into a relationship and you're like, I want to move kind of slow. But what is this thing? I see this with even people I know locally, like
Yeah.
on their social media, whether it's Facebook or just Instagram. I see it from women more than men by far. Like if a guy goes out with a what he considers like the apple of his eye or somebody he really is infatuated with or has feelings for,
Yeah.
he gonna show the world.
Yeah.
Like you got some guys, it's like they live in triple lives, double lives, so that might be the reasoning. But for
Yeah.
women, a single woman who is not married, she not cheating, she is single, and that man takes you on a nice vacation, like I said, and it's like you gonna keep cropping this guy out. That's why I made it a thing where it's like, why are they cropping these guys out?
What did you call that? What was
It's
that
called it's called
hashtag?
it's called cropped out but never forgotten. Like
Yes. I was
it's
like, what was
like
that
so it's like
hashtag?
bro, like I'm speaking for those guys. Even though I've never been cropped out, I've never been cropped out in any situation.
I be
I
telling niggas, do not post me.
I've seen women not only do they crop out, their sponsor, if you want to call it a sponsor. Like you seen the hashtag tag your sponsor. That was funny too.
Yeah.
But it's like I've seen women go so low, they crop out their homegirls in pictures or vacations, like the background, or they crop out
Okay.
like
Hold on.
I've seen
Okay.
women
Wait,
crop
wait,
out.
wait, 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 wait.
I've seen women crop out their own kids before.
Okay, kids messed up. Homegirls. Okay, so let me tell you. Let me tell you something.
Why do y'all do it? Not y'all, but why do women?
Do you see how this looks?
Right?
Like this.
You said you can't be in the picture with me.
And my cousin started that because it was a party that I had one time downtown, and she was like, "I'm gonna just Photoshop everybody out."
Oh.
She's like,
Everybody.
look, look at this. Like, just look. So in that case, sometimes
So
what
your friends were in that picture. Some of those pictures
yeah,
were they?
at that time my some friends were in that picture. And my cousin cropped everybody out. But I will say this. I'm the type of person that I am private. I remember being in like a relationship with somebody that was like popular, you know. That's an interesting space to navigate. I think it's something that
That's different. Yeah, I agree with that.
it's different. So going forward, I was like, I just want something like to myself for me, you know. But I don't get the point in posting somebody and then like cropping them out. Like I have a homegirl that does that. Like and it's still weird to me. It's like the father of her children.
She posts the guy out of
She
the.
will post like and I'm like, why are you cropping his face out? Like we all know who he is. Like we all know the situation. Why are you like and I think part of it is to taunt other people because other people could be aware maybe there's a burner page or somebody's homegirl is fault. And so you're trying to talk like so you're letting the people know that you're there with somebody, but you're mainly doing it.
Yeah,
They're doing it
you're
to make
playing games. They're
yeah,
playing
you're
fucking
playing
games.
games and which is a very dangerous territory to be in because we know how crazy women get as well when it comes to like dick, which is crazy. I don't understand. I've had good dick, but I ain't never been digmatized where almost. And I was like, okay, I gotta stop playing with this because this is dangerous. But I could see how that could happen to somebody, and that's just me being honest with you, you know. But I think that
It's
a
real.
lot of times it has nothing to do with the person. It has nothing to do with men. And if it does, it's like this person is doing this and you had the opportunity and you didn't. Or they're taunting. 9 out of 10 times I feel like they're taunting another chick.
Yes.
Like and they know. So it's like you're posting certain things, like whether it be the tattoo, the knuckles, the tattoos could be on the knuckles, whatever. So you can identify who this person is. So their friend could run by and say, girl. So it's like wreaking havoc, like on whatever, which is childish to me. But
It's very childish when you over 30, 35, I say.
yeah,
34 and up, it's like, come on, baby.
yo, like, and it's funny because like I had a situation with a homegirl, and I was like, man, I'm gonna put you on the show because this situation, I literally was like, listen, let me help you navigate this space. You like this guy. He says he's poly. I'm like, okay, if he poly, that means so can you be. You can be poly, right? Y'all live in different cities. You're following from a burner account like the girl and his page or whatever. He ain't that fine, by the way. But you're like, oh, he's supposed to do this for me. He ain't told me. I was like, okay, so if it's a trip that you want to go on for your birthday, get your trip.
You
Get
said,
your trip.
get your trip. I like that. That's funny. Get
And
your trip.
then if he's causing this much anguish and pain and drama in your life, block him after the trip. But
Oh, oh, that's tough.
move accordingly to get your trip.
So
After
that's a real thing? Like get your trip off and then block.
get your trip off, block that nigga. Like because men do things to women all the time. The trip is the least that he can do. And see, he wanted to just date multiple women and
I can
not
understand. Yeah, go
and
ahead and
not allow
get your
her
trip.
to date.
Get your trip. Yeah, get your trip
Yeah,
off.
get your trip. So I'm like, if he don't want to allow you to keep the same energy, get your trip. Get your trip and block him after that. Or you can leave him alone altogether. But
How
it sounds like to me you want to go out of town
how
at
often
somebody else's expense.
how often is that you think that's happening out here in the game as we know it right now? Like get your trip, like you said. How? Because I know it's. I see people that I know personally that I went to
Yeah.
school with, and it's like the funniest cliche that I hear is when women say, "What's understood doesn't need to be
Don't need to
said."
be explained.
Oh yeah, it's like when I see that, I already know what their relationship is about. Like you can't show this person for whatever reason. We know the reasons most time, but it's like what's under when I see that what's understood, I don't even read the rest of the sentence.
You already know. And I mean, it's probably a common practice. It's probably happening more often than we acknowledge or even talk about. But I told her, I'm like, listen, I saw you got your trip. Did you block him?
Ooh.
And she's still messing around with that nigga. I'm like, hey, I told you what the Aquarian thing to do. I'm like, this is why you're not one of me. That's why you a Pisces. You too emotionally invested. And he's not giving you that same energy. And it's like, when we have to start reading the room. I'm not saying play these niggas, but it's like sometimes.
Yeah, it's herbs out here. It's herbs that deserve. I say it this way. There are guys, I call them herbs. They want to get finessed out of the free meal or the free
And they
vacation.
don't care. And it's but that's also there's some men that don't care. But that's a
Yes,
different bracket.
it's a different. Yeah, it's a different. It's a whole different regime.
It is. No, and that's being like I did I tell you to tell him how the dude told me to go that he wanted to go Dutch.
He wanted
I
to go
talked
Dutch
about
at the restaurant.
nigga. Okay, sorry. I ain't mean to call you a nigga.
He asked you to go out to
So
eat.
this happened prior. But I had been it's his fault. It's his fault. Like everything I told him, I was honest enough down the line to be honest about the situation. I went to a game. I met a guy. We hit it off, and we went to like OKC for a playoff game. And I think it was like the Western Conference Finals. I can't remember what
when,
year it
when, when
was.
Kevin Durant was there.
Yes, it was, so Katie was there, and then they was playing the Spurs. Whatever it was, I think that's what it was. They were playing the Spurs. They got knocked out. He asked me to go. I was like, cool. I like you. We've been having a good time. Great, not a problem. On the flight over, he was talking too much. And this is another thing, too, that we'll have to talk about another day. Men talk themselves out of pussy a lot.
He's talking too much.
He was talking too much. And so he was trying to tell me about all I asked, especially if I date interracially, I like to know, have you ever dated a black girl before? I like to know. Am I your first rodeo? Is this your second go round? Because like I said earlier, you ain't gonna get no better than this. I'm just feeling it out. Oh my God. Now I was like, if there was a eject button on the flight going,
you would have jumped out.
I would have jumped out. So the stuff that he was telling me, I was like, yo, this is why I'm celibate. Because he was like, he dated a stripper. And then you was expecting, like, I don't know what you was expecting, but she was like playing him. But then he was like, he said she ended up pregnant. I'm gonna just super quick tell the story. He said she ended up pregnant. He made her get an abortion. The girl was like 4 months, 4.5 months. I was like, man, that baby got fingernails. But whatever. And I was like, yo, I like, see, this is why I'm celibate. And he was like, I think you telling me you're a virgin. I said, no, I'm saying I've had sex before, but I don't have sex anymore because it just things get very like confused and blah, 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 blah. He said, had I known, I would have got you your own room. I said, nah, had you known, you wouldn't have took me on this trip.
At all.
At all. And it was last minute. It was like a couple of days before. So I know it wasn't like it was ridiculously overpriced. So I'm like, oh, whatever. I might have finessed him a little more down the line and never gave him no cookie.
Oh, poor fella.
It's fine. But like we said, there's a certain type of guy that enjoys coming. I'm like, all right, cool. It wasn't like we was consistently dating. It was like it'd be off and on. And I just was like,
it's a marketplace. It's a marketplace for those type of men.
Yeah.
Cropped out, but never forgotten.
Yeah. And so, but I did tell myself, well, this is what happened. And this is why this never happened. And one day he hit me up to go to lunch. And I was like, sure, let's, what's the area you're going to be in? Whatever, here, the restaurants. He asked me to go Dutch at Manuela downtown. It's like a museum and they have like a restaurant. Fire drinks, by the way. I was like, I was getting a salad. A salad is $12.
He said, "Yo, we go Dutch. Fuck out of
Yeah.
here."
I, and my sister was like, that's because he would say, he would ask, when are we gonna have some sex? She said, that's
Oh,
because you ain't gave him some sex. I'm like, oh, this even the idea of it. But it's just like I feel that there, like you said, there is a lane for men like that. But I really believe that had a lot of times that post has nothing to do with the man. It has everything to do with the multiple, like the other women that could be potentially involved in lurking. I think that's why that happened. Because if it were me, I would make it look like it was a girl's trip. You know, like it's my homegirl
I can
taking the
tell. I can
photo.
tell. I can tell the difference now. I'm so good. My
Yeah,
my spider senses are so good on Instagram now. I'll be looking like because I'm just like a people watcher sometimes. It's kind of fascinating to me,
it
honestly.
is. And,
It's
and, and
fascinating to me, man.
and the lengths that people even go through to try, I'm like, this is just weird to me. But you also kind of know because there's a way that women take photos, like a photographer or a homegirl,
And a
and,
dude, right?
and a dude. It's a difference,
Different
and
angles.
yeah, it's different angles, and
I'm the greatest. I'm one of the greatest iPhone vacation photographers there is too. By the way,
well,
I get
I
real. I
mean,
can get.
depending on who watching, what part of their story they catch, you will know what's going on in your life or what's not happening. I know what's happening, so it's just for me, it's like I don't think I just care that much, and I think maybe I should care more, but I just really don't care because it's like if I go with my homegirls, great. If I go with a dude, okay, but you're not gonna know what happened anyway because I'm not even gonna post for real until I get back. That's how I am.
Mm.
I don't ever post until I get back for real. One, so I can just kind of like, yeah, we got these shots off, but so I can go back
And
to being in the moment.
yeah, I'm about to say like that's what's lost in society as a whole right now with Instagram being like
Yeah.
the main driving force for a lot of people. You got so many people who you got real influencers, then you have these people that just wanna be inclusive and try to live their life as if they might have 400 followers, but it's like they want to act like they got 4 million followers. Like man,
Mm-hmm.
nobody cares about your life, man. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody cares about your damn life, man. Go
Look,
enjoy your trip, and live in the moments. I capture footage too. Don't get me wrong, but it's like I like basking in the moment.
I really, I that had been that being in the moment is something that I have been working on very, very, very hard. As a like a person that's a creative, I'm always in my head to begin with. I'm an Aquarius, definitely overthinking and always in my head and stressing myself out and causing like, sometimes unnecessary like anxiety or panic attacks about something that hasn't even happened yet. So my goal, especially during like when we were locked down, fortunately I was still moving about, going in and out the office, and moving around, but being able to appreciate what I had and the connections that I had with like my friends and my family, because you were seeing people like drop like flies. I didn't have COVID really hit my family until this year, where I had like lost back to back, like in the span of a month, like four relatives to that.
Mm.
And so and now it's kind of like we've forgotten that COVID had even that it even existed, And so I don't know, like I had just been kind of more intentional about things that I post, what I view, what I see too. And it's weird, like the things that people care about,
Yeah, petty bullshit. Shit
the
that don't
petty
match.
stuff, you know.
Shit that don't matter in the grand scheme. Like I say, it don't matter in the grand scheme.
It doesn't. And so I'm thinking about, and even, like I've been clashing a lot with like my family about like different things. Like my aunt, my one of my aunts that like was very instrumental in like my upbringing, and I would spend my summers in this small town in Illinois. She passed away, and I mean, fortunately, I was able to see her when I went back to St. Louis in September. But she passed away, and that's been hard to process because there's drama even going along with that. That's made it hard to mourn, which has been like a lot of the like arguments that I've had with my like father and other people. But I was just like, you know, one, this indirectly doesn't have anything to do with me, but I want to talk about this and putting boundaries in place to protect my peace, because
Oh,
boundaries
it's real.
and peace
It's real.
is a luxury that we all can afford, but a lot of people don't want to do the work to access it. And so that's something that I had a homegirl say, I feel like you choose peace too much. I
Ooh,
might be this because you don't know what I've been through to get here.
that's deep.
And I, if you call there, you can't argue in my house, I will put you out so quick. It's good vibrations here.
Yes.
I'm a huge advocate for that. So when I see certain stuff, I'm like, this is ridiculous.
Anything that you feel like anything that throws your energy off, it's like we got to dispose of that, bro. I'm the
I
same way.
do.
Like my boundary is crazy right now with people. Like my phone has been ringing nonstop every day for 5 months straight. Like I only keep it real with you. Like I talk to like my immediate family, meaning mom, dad,
Hmm.
brother, sister type thing. But like so many, like I'm dealing with like people that's coming out of the woodworks for all type of like, opportunists and just all type of shit.
Right,
So it's
right.
like in the entertainment shit I'm
Wait.
doing.
What's that tweet? Wait. Hold on. I thought I had it. Oh, I didn't put it up. It's in my phone. It's in my phone because you put one up the other day.
Which one?
You hold on. I think I have that.
Ooh, you got a little data.
You every no that you got as motivation. All those no's will eventually turn into, hey stranger, what's good, bro? Let's link, let's work. I'm a big fan. I've always knew you would make it, etc., etc.,
That was
etc.
today. I think I tweeted that today, this
I think
morning. I
you
think.
is it this one? Is it that? I honestly today is the 21st and everything is a blur to me.
But that
It's
was
been
real.
going for the
Like
past 2 years.
that was kind of my thought when I said that. It was like,
Yeah.
man, like I've been dealing with, like I've been climbing the ladder, doing stuff on my own, like just being organic with my whole reach. That's why I say that a lot. Like my reach has
Hmm.
been organic. Like my climb has been so crazy with the relationships that I've built with like all type of people. I don't even like to say names no more. So it's like now it's like people really come at me and
Draymond Green gonna be on his show, guys.
that's gonna be.
And if it ain't confirmed, I'm confirming it. I just spoken into favor over your life.
Yeah, it's gonna I got a lot of shit I'm working on for as my podcast and just like I do stuff behind the scenes too, outside of the podcast, and where it's like I'm trying to get in some Hollywood. I'm trying to write. I'm trying to do stuff like I'm a creative person, so it's like my mind always turning. But like people are coming out of the woodworks with all type of like, hey yo man, I got this for you, or oh I could do this. Like bro, I never heard of some of these people, and some of it is actually good. It's
Yeah.
legit, but it's just the fact where I peep it, where it's like I sat back for a long time and I just see how momentum works,
Hmm.
and like everybody gravitates towards momentum. Men, women, kids, even kids. Like you see kids with Steph Curry jerseys on when he first started winning championships, it's because he was winning and he had
Right,
momentum.
right, right.
It's no different than all the kids wearing Steph Curry shoes in 2015. But if a team, you don't see anybody on the Sacramento Kings, like they like one of the worst teams historically the last 10, 20
Don't
years.
don't tell Lance Woods that, okay?
Hey,
Lance,
I rock with Lance, man.
don't
He
tell him that.
Yo, that's funny. You said his name. I actually spoke to him. He reached out to me like 2 days ago and asked me how far I was from Charlotte because he's coming to do. He's coming to Charlotte and he's coming to Greensboro. I'm gonna check him out. Like he real funny. He an underrated comedian.
Lance is hilarious. I love Lance.
I
Lance
first
is
I
so
first saw
funny.
his I first saw him on like Amazon Prime, his special where I think he had red on. And I
Yeah,
was
yeah,
I was
yeah.
I was up one night because I love stand-up comedy. So I like those comedians that's kind of like on the up and up or under the radar. So like
Hmm.
I'm like, yo, this dude really funny. So
Yeah,
I
Lance
think
is
I
hilarious.
I think I follow him on Instagram and shit. And then it's like I've been communicating with him. And it's like I say this with Jamel Hill on one of my shows. It's like a frequency.
Yeah.
Like the frequency when you meet people, they can be a total stranger, they can be famous. Like a lot of people see me and they say, damn, bro, you know him and you know her, and you know all these famous people. How do you know them? And how do you know this person and that
You
person?
just yourself. Like I
It's a
think
yeah,
there's an
it's a
energy.
frequency. It's just an energy and
Yeah.
a frequency. And it's like, bro, I don't be out here like asking people for nothing.
I
Like
think
it,
that's why I really like I listen to the Some Dude show, and I think that's why I like gravitate like we just vibe so much because I just feel like it's so authentic. It wasn't forced.
nah, it's just
And,
me.
and we probably really probably started speaking consistently in like the past year and a half, but we haven't followed each other like for a minute. But like it was just like organically, like it naturally happened. And we like when people like, oh, so and so, I was like, I don't talk sports with him. I don't know. Like I don't ask questions. I don't say, can you know? That's weird to me. One, that's weird. But two, it's also living in LA where you see people like fanboy over people and
Yeah,
it's become like really big. Like the men are bigger groupies than women, by the way. You know
always,
that.
always, yes.
And so like I there was one a particular athlete that followed me and I immediately got so many messages. Do you know? How do you know? Will he follow you? I'm like, I don't know that man. Like maybe I said something funny or maybe he's saying I'm cute. I don't know. But I can't I'm not that's weird to me. And it's just like I don't know, like, but like me, like I said, my background, and I interviewed Jamil like years ago, like on the red carpet at the NAACP Awards, and she was so dope to me. Like,
Yeah, she's very cool. Like what you see on TV, like she's real cool in real life. Like I
yeah,
that was my first guest. Like I reached out to her, and the reason why I had Jamel Hill as my first guest when I brought my podcast back is because Jamel Hill had me on ESPN on her ESPN show. This is back in like 2012.
mm-hmm.
This before podcasting was even called, like it wasn't even a thing really. And
Yeah,
she reached out to me on social media and was like, "Yeah, I would love to have you on our show." And I was like, "Yo, for real?" So it was like back in them days, it was more of a stigma where it was like, "Oh, you a social media person," or you it act like
yeah,
you was like not a real person, like you just a social media
yeah.
sensation. But for her to do that way back, like it's been like 10 years now. So when I brought back my show, I was like, you know what? That's the first person I'm gonna talk to because it's like a full circle moment.
Right. I think you know, I don't think the media or news expected the influence of like social media to really take heed and take a hold of the industry like that.
Yep.
And I as I was exiting out of my program and getting ready to move here, I never I hated doing hardcore news. I always, if I could, I would do entertainment journalism and weave it into some sort of like, like hardcore news story. Like I did a report on like the Chris Brown Rihanna thing, but I turned it into like a news story. Like that's the shit I was doing because I was like, y'all not even seeing it. Y'all don't get it. Like we know and I was also, like we were younger, so we understood. But it was just like, like these people, like bloggers and all of that, they're coming and they're coming fast. So you better adapt to it,
Yeah,
or you're gonna fall by the wayside.
you get the information so quick now with
Mm-hmm.
with Twitter, right? So you'll see stuff on Twitter whether it's like somebody no matter what the story is. Like I see news on Twitter before I even watch the actual news now. Like I
That's
know
how I
what
found out Kobe
I
died.
yeah, I know what's going on in other cities, other states, like
Yep.
random little stories that all these news networks and all these different media outlets and regular people. So it's
Yeah.
like the media has always looked at me like competition, but now I think they
Yeah.
starting to realize like because I
That's
have
why I said. That's why I told you. I said, "Hey, y'all listen to that one white dude on ESPN, but if you ain't said, I don't know.
yeah, I had people
Hey,
say that.
cuz,
People say that to me. I had somebody say that to me yesterday on my Instagram. They sent me a DM. It's like I ain't gonna believe it unless you say it. And I'm like, bruh, that comes from me. They know that I talk to people that's really in basketball. It's like I'm
right?
not sitting around like, yeah, I wonder if like some stuff I do just think on my own, but I
Mhm.
do have real sources. So like those sources give you like a different level of like credibility out here.
Yeah, it's wild, and I love that people trust you more. Like you literally
Yeah.
have more leverage. And I hope that like I know you. Like I know you leveraging that shit. Like
Oh
people
yeah.
they're gonna stop playing with you. Like for real.
They
Like
still they still trying to play, but like
they still trying to play, but
they waking up for real now. Like brands and like this like agencies. Like I can't speak on certain stuff, but like
right.
the biggest agencies in Hollywood, like they hey bro, let's go. Let's work. So I know the work is really it's not going unnoticed.
Yeah, no, I'm telling you, like you got it. Like you really got it. But so you think Kyrie coming to LA? What you think is gonna happen? You know, you posting photos, like what's gonna happen? You think we getting
Yeah.
rid of Russell?
I posted that the other day and had the whole shit. That shit got like 3 million impressions right now. And I was like, damn, just because I just said what I was what for one, it was what I was thinking myself. But like the Kyrie thing, I talked about it on my podcast a little bit with my dad.
Hmm.
Um
Shout out to Pops, by the way.
Pops is the character. Pops is really like everywhere I go now. So
Hmm.
I have my dad on 2 episodes, right?
Hmm.
The last 2 episodes, every single day. Not a day goes by where somebody doesn't inbox me, DM me, or comment or say, I'm like, yo, that's crazy. Like it started out like a small little idea. Like
Hmm.
I didn't sit around and think about it. It just came kind of natural. Like, you know what? I'm gonna call my dad. So the first time I did it, it was like I called him. He had no idea he was being interviewed, basically.
Oh dang.
So if you go
My,
back and listen to the first time, like the
uh-huh.
episode 20, I think, he has no idea. He realized it like midway through the call. But at first, that's why it sounded so like genuine, because it's like, bro, I just called my dad and we shoot the shit about basketball or whatever. And I haven't even tapped into like the relationship stuff, like the OG, just like those gems. But Kyrie Irving, it's a possibility though. Like it's definitely not just a rumor that's floating around. Like him and LeBron, they had great chemistry, and
Right.
Kyrie knows that him and Bron had the best chemistry those years in Cleveland. And it's like I feel like Kyrie is doing a lot of soul searching.
Everybody
Like
want to
even
be a star. I said all the time to you, everybody want to be the star, but then they don't realize like their
uh,
role and position that they.
yes, a lot comes with that, man. Like
Yeah.
heavy is the crown, like they say. So now it's
Hmm.
like all those years you played with Bron and you was a 22, 23-year-old kid, and now you're realizing like he says something. If you go back and listen to his remarks, I think it was a couple weeks ago, he was on I Am Athlete, and he
Hmm.
was and his I'm just paraphrasing what he said, but Kyrie said something to the extent of, if I was mature as I was now, like that little nugget where he was saying like he's basically telling y'all like I was really an immature ass dumb kid who didn't want to
Yep.
listen. Not just
All for the
LeBron,
glitz and the glam.
yeah, not that's what LeBron was trying to teach me or LeBron was trying to just put me under his wing, but now he realizing like you said, damn, this shit is really hard to be the main guy. Like Kevin
Hmm.
Durant, as great as Kevin Durant is, I think Kyrie Irving is realizing like KD is a great basketball player, but neither one of us, not just Kevin Durant, neither one of us really is a leader. Like
Mm.
we're great. We can score. We
You
can
gonna
do
hurt
all.
some Libra egos.
Yeah, we can do all the moves, and we can do all the moves. They, like people say, they're two of the most skilled players ever.
Yeah.
But that leadership component is what I think he's sitting back when he's sitting back at home. He probably thinking to himself like, "Damn, bro, I might want to run it back." And his fiance lives in LA, so that's another incentive.
She's so fine. She's so pretty.
Yeah, so who doesn't want to live in LA? Shit, I'm trying to move to LA soon. So
Do
who doesn't want?
you want to live her at the like?
I want to live in the. I'm gonna be in the hills though. I ain't trying to be in the trenches.
Okay, yeah, my wealth is working. I'm, sugar, sugar, sugar. You got it. Do you? I don't even know, man. The hills. It depends on where you are, because I just feel like what makes me anxious about that is it be one way in and out. That's just
Yeah, it's
I'm
crazy.
from the hood. I need multiple exits. So
Yeah, I did the last time I was out there a couple months ago. I did the Mulholland. I did the Mulholland Drive at night, and I went up in the hills, and I was like, bro, this is like some Friday the 13th shit. Michael Myers, Jason, Freddy Krueger shit,
I
man.
had highway hypnosis one day listening to Formation when Formation first came out. It was like that. It was a sound in that song, and I was locked in, and I had to pull over and like reset, like no lie, because
Oh,
I
you
felt
was
like I
going
would
up,
have.
you was going in the hills like this.
Yeah, and yeah, and I was like, I felt like I would have drove off the cliff, but no,
It's spooky. It's spooky.
LA is a it's a vibe. I love it here. I wouldn't change it for the world. I felt like it was predestined for me to be here. And I've been through a lot, and this is where I'm supposed to be, and I love how this looks. And sidebar, Friday, y'all, on the Kevon stage at my homeboy show, BT Kingsley. Give me five. I'm on two of the episodes. I don't know if they're dropping the whole season. Sometimes Kevin and they tend to drop the full season at one time. But if not, it'll be weekly. Definitely check that out. Definitely support. We had an amazing time shooting the shit, talking about our top five. He gonna kill me. R&B singers is one episode. Another episode is top five horror films too. So yeah, we out here making moves and having a great time. So it's
Top
a vibe. It's a
top
vibe.
five top five R&B singers all time, or just like right
All
now?
time, all time. So each person had you have a list. I knew what the subject was going in, so I created a list, and a person could not be on another person's list, so you could battle for it.
Ooh.
And baby,
I would put
did I
Cisco the
battle? Did I
Cisco
battle?
Cisco the Dragon on that list.
Not albums, singers, R&B singers.
Yeah, Cisco, the singer. Drew Hill, lead singer of Cisco, lead singer of Drew Hill.
I know. I don't think anybody. I don't think he was on anybody's list. But I also it was a blur after I ripped my wig off. So whatever. I don't know. I don't recall. I don't think Cisco was on anybody's list. But you know what? Now you're right.
Underrated.
Underrated. Into the Dragon was a great album.
He sold like 5 million.
Yeah, I'm sold.
That was a lot back then too.
Sold 5 million. Yes, because what is that? Is that diamond? No, Cisco didn't go diamond.
Yeah, he went 4. I think he sold 4 or 5 million. Diamond is 10 million though. He
10. Okay. You know who went diamond? Nelly.
You from St. Louis? That's why you said that.
Yes, I am, and I'ma still hit the mono, as y'all call the chicken head, anytime Nelly come on. Because I sure did Sunday at the gym.
I rock with Nelly though. Nelly has longevity, and that's the American dream, is to be the American dream. I tell people this all the time. The American dream is to have longevity in whatever you're good at, and to be and to be overpaid doing that.
Yeah, and Nelly has found his lane.
Yes.
I feel like Nelly tried to adapt with the times, but he needed, an image, maybe consultant manager on his team that would, even me, because I'm good at those things, curating certain looks. And because I mean, I really think that's what it was, because I didn't even realize, I think because us being from St. Louis, when he was like on top, we was just thinking St. Louis. But like when I got here, they was like, "Oh my gosh, I love Nelly," and I was like, "What?"
Global.
Like,
yeah, he was global. He was coast to coast.
It was strange to me. So I'm like, okay, yeah. So yeah, but I definitely want to have you back. I had a great time with you.
Let's do
it. Great conversation.
Anytime.
And maybe I'll appear one day on the Some Do show. Maybe you'll feed me to the don't feed me to the wolves. Do not feed me. I am wholesome. I am one of the 58 that are wholesome.
They be asking me though. They be like, "Yo, what's my stats?"
I be wanting to know, but then I don't be wanting to get my feelings hurt, so I don't want to know.
They be asking me.
I'm in the top 5. I'm in the starting 5. I might be a small forward. I'm 5.
You a 3? You a small forward?
Yeah, like I may be, my wingspan is like double the size of my
You said your wingspan.
Your wingspan is crazy. Have you seen my fingers? I'm never gonna grow into my fingers. Like,
you play basketball?
No, I played piano briefly. I am not athletic. I ran
no
track
sports.
for a week.
No
I went track for a week. My asthma wouldn't let me live.
Oh,
I know.
Damn.
I'm not a waste of height.
You let your wingspan go to waste, is what you're saying.
Hey, this is why I gotta procreate with somebody that's tall, so my kid can go to the league.
You like 5'10"?
No, yeah, I'm 5'9". My sister's 5'10". My
That's
daddy, my dad is 6'5", 6'5.5", and my dad was actually really great in baseball and basketball. And somebody got jealous, and my dad apparently could have gone very far.
so you have
Somebody shot
genetics.
him.
You have the genetics then.
Apparently so. I don't. But my dad is also my sister and my dad. They're very artistic. I used to be at one point. I didn't keep with it. Sister's an architect. My dad is can draw his ass off. So we just be talented over here on the loving side. So my height didn't go the way. I'm cute. I'm fly. I look like a model everywhere where I walk in. So yeah. But tell everybody where they can find you. Tell them about your merch. And yeah, where they can follow you.
You can follow me on Twitter at Cuffs the Legend. Instagram is the same at Cuffs the Legend. The podcast is the Some Dude Show.
The Some
So
Do
a
Show.
lot of people are familiar. Like I
A
tell
lot
people,
are.
that show is for everybody. Like there's some of the biggest names in the NBA, some of the biggest names in the basketball world, some of the biggest names in sports in general, in the media. And that show is for everybody. Like that show is for like the everyday person, truck drivers, just people, just regular people, everyday people listen to my show because, like I say, it's organic and it's real. And I try to make it funny. I try to do it just off the head. Like it's not really like a scripted show like that. It's real organic
Hmm.
sports talk, but it's not just total sports talk. Like it's stuff
You
on
love
there.
music.
Yeah, it's music. Like I really incorporate music, unlike any other basketball or sports podcast. Like it's a lot of music. Like I lead off the show sometimes, well, most times with like some of my songs, like some of the songs I really like. It's like kind of under the radar. A lot of the hip hop artists that don't really get the same just due as the big
Yes.
name guys. So if you come to my show, you're gonna hear some guys where it's like you might be familiar with them, but it's like, yo, I ain't really heard that joint, or I ain't heard that joint. And I'm an R&B head too, so it's a lot of R&B. That was my main focus when I launched the pod. It was like, yo, everybody know me for basketball, but the Some Do Show is like it's layers to me. There's so many
Yeah.
layers, so I just try to show people those layers. So the Some Do Show is on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, all the major platforms. And the show is growing now. Like I said, I'm working on a lot of big partnerships right now. So it's going to get bigger and better.
Hey, and when you get those partnerships, y'all, can y'all please like partake in? I try for the most part, even my homie shows, I try to buy it. Listen, this is how I have HelloFresh from damn internet. You scary.
Yeah.
Like use the codes, like do all of that stuff, and so these brands too see like the engagement that's happening, and
Yeah,
like
exactly.
and the partnership that like the deal that I have coming up with this jewelry line, like buy the shit like
Yeah,
30
buy the
off. Like
shit.
people be giving 5, 10%. No, like 30. That's a lot.
Yeah, so I'm gonna be having that coming soon with like I'm into health and fitness. Like I work out a lot, so I'm gonna have like the health and fitness with the supplements and all
Okay.
type of things like cannabis. I'm in the cannabis game, so I'm in that space with some different companies. Like all type of things I'm working on. Meal prep, I'm in the meal prep space. So when people they're gonna be hearing my show very soon and like, oh, they hear this ad or hear that ad. Like you said, when you support that, you supporting me. So it's like
Yeah.
it'll really be like a revolving door.
Yes. So, and y'all know what to do. Shop St. Angeles, saint-angeles.com/candles. I got the candles for y'all. Have some other stuff coming, and make sure y'all subscribe to Cups Podcast everywhere you can podcast, and make sure y'all downloading and subscribe to the Kev on Stage app to get that exclusive black content. It's for black people, and make sure y'all go out there and get it. And we're gonna see y'all here next week.
Yeah.